Do you guys remember nursery rhymes? You know, the ones parents and teachers used to teach kids? A bunch of them actually have creepy, dark origin stories. And today I'm going to be going over 5 of them with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Number 1, Jack and Jill. The lyrics go like this. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And this story is actually said to come from France. Jack is actually said to be King Louis the 16th. I was close. And Jill was actually said to be his queen, Marie Antoinette. Sorry if I butcher the names. The actual story is quite dark, but it's been very watered down to be PG-13, kid-friendly. So the story says that when Jack lost his crown, it's actually referring to when King Louis the 16th got his head beheaded. And his wife Antoinette, who came tumbling after, which means she got her head beheaded after him. And this all happened during the Reign of Terror in 1793. And 2 years later, in 1795, is actually when the first publication of Jack and Jill was created. So you guys let me know if you guys think it's based off of King Louis the 16th. Number 2. Ring Around the Rosie. The song goes like this. Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies, a tissue. What is this news thing? A tissue? Nah, that ain't it. Are you telling me it's not ashes? This whole time I've been saying ashes? This is a tissue, like a sneeze. That's a whole Mandela effect right there. Anyways, the way I thought it was ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. But this is saying a chew, or a tissue, a tissue. Anyways, this one is said to be about the 1665 Great Plague of London. The plague killed 15% of the population, and it was very traumatic and a hectic time for everyone in that area. And in poorer parts of the city, there was no sanitation, so good hygiene was pretty much impossible to maintain. It's said the smell was so overwhelming that people would walk around with handkerchiefs or a pocket full of posies in their pocket to try to disguise the smell and help the smell. And people also developed rashes that were rosy colored. Sound familiar? Because of all the deaths, a lot of bodies were burned, and there was also a lot of black smoke, which caused hazards for breathing, and a lot of factories and households were also burning coal. But a lot of people don't really believe this theory. A lot of people think it's more likely that this origin story came from a religious ban on dancing during the 19th century in Britain and North America. People would find loopholes to this religious ban and created this singy-songy thing and played the game, so it didn't count as dancing. It was closely similar to square dancing, minus like the name dancing and stuff, you know. It was just a game, but kind of incorporated dancing secretly. Number 3. The 3 Blind Mice. Okay, y'all, this one gets really dark, and I feel like you could even tell in the nursery rhyme that something's kind of off, you know? 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? So the origin of these lyrics goes all the way back to 1609, and it's actually said to be about Queen Mary I, a committed Catholic. And she is the one who got the nickname Bloody Mary that's been passed down for generations. She didn't get the Bloody Mary nickname for nothing. She got it because of all the violent persecutions she ordered. The 3 blind mice in the story actually refers to 3 men who were Catholics and were accused of plotting against the queen. And no, the guys were not blind, and she did not make them blind. I guess it's more referring to their religious beliefs and that they're blind in that way, you know? That's what they were referring to by 3 blind mice. And she ordered all 3 of them to be burned at the stake. Number 4. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. And this one is actually also about Queen Mary the First, aka our girl Bloody Mary. And this one is actually super dark, and the annotations, or whatever it's called, are like, oh my god. Her growing garden, the growing garden that is mentioned in this story, is actually referring to the growing graveyard that had those who went against Mary's wishes. And get this, the silver bells and cockle shells, yeah, those are actually torture instruments. Silver bells are actually referring to thumb screws, which would grow closer together and smush your thumb or something as someone did a screw. Tightened a screw. Conch shells were a torture method that were attached to, you know, the genitals down there. And that's not all. Let me tell you about the maiden. The maid. The maid. There was a device called the maiden, and this was used to behead people. Also, a little fun fact, you know how back in the day when they used to cut off people's head and like hold them up to like the audience, or so it said, or so it seemed? Well, they're actually not holding it up to the audience. It's because they believed that the body was still conscious, or the person was still conscious, and they were trying to show them their headless body and the audience watching them. Yeah, that's pretty dark. Those are the nursery rhyme origin stories that I'm going to be talking about today. Let me know if you guys knew about these when you were younger, or if you're just now learning about them. If you guys want me to make a part 2, I will. Let me know which one you guys think is the craziest or the most obvious. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed or found this interesting or learned something new. I find the origins of nursery rhymes and fairy tales very fascinating. So let me know if you guys want me to do a part 2 or 3 or 4. Or even content similar to this, you know. Anyways, please like and comment. It honestly really helps and I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks for watching.